I've been hearing certain questions a lot lately. Questions like, why did I even do this in the first place? This is not like me at all. Why did I let this person do this to me for so long? What happened? I've never done anything like this before. So in this video, I want to answer those questions. Narcissists love bomb and idealize all of their victims, romantic or otherwise. It's really important to keep in mind that not every relationship we have with people who are narcissistic is romantic. Most narcissists try and boost you up, build you up, make you feel amazing, and the problems, unfortunately, begin right here. Love bombing and idealizing are extremely unhealthy behaviors, and what it does is it sets incredibly unrealistic expectations for the entirety of the relationship that, as you know by now, are not going to be maintained. What happens here is you confuse love bombing, future faking, idealization, even mirroring. We confuse it with love. Love, being in love, lust, obsession are all very different things. No love is being formed here. What is building, what is happening is dependency. This person makes you feel safe, maybe, good about yourself, attractive, and so on, and you get hooked. This is where that trauma bond begins to form, the addiction. You begin to need this attention and need these behaviors, and you begin to need this person in general. Most victims begin to need this so badly that you will begin to sacrifice other things just to get it. You might even have trouble identifying what feelings you exactly do have for this person. You just know you want this person around all the time, and whatever it is that they're giving you, you want it again and again and again. Once love bombing begins to fade, and you no longer feel really loved, adored, worshipped, protected, devaluing has begun to present itself. You get teased, mocked, provoked, physically abused in some cases, silent treatments, and the like. Gaslighting also comes into play, and so do a lot of other forms of manipulation. This person begins to behave in truly unacceptable ways. But as a response to this, a lot of people who get mixed up with a narcissist begin to take all of the responsibility for the downfall of the relationship. You might even have this heightened sense of responsibility, the responsibility to make excuses for the narcissist or justify the behavior. So how the hell does all this happen? In a lot of cases, the narcissist will actually just tell you that you're responsible for all the wrongdoings. They call you names because, well, you're stupid and you need to wise up. They cheated because you're not spending enough time with them. You're not sleeping with them. You're not doing enough for them. They aren't going to work because you make enough money and it's your responsibility to take care of them. They actually tell you that you are responsible for all these things. And what we do is we take that idea and we kind of run wild with it. If you'd like to talk one-on-one with a survivor, you can email BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com to get information on private phone chats with me. If you've been with a narcissist, you've seen firsthand. They blame you or others for everything wrong in their life. Every awful thing they do, there's an excuse, an explanation, and there's someone else to blame. Mostly, more than likely, you. What happens when you get told that you're wrong and you're bad and you suck? Well, you do what most of us do, myself included. You overcompensate. A lot of time, what does that include? Taking the blame and taking the responsibility. Because you're so deeply sucked in and love bombed and put up on a pedestal, when this changes, that addiction kicks in. Hey, this isn't here anymore, and I need this. What's going on? What's happening? We begin to really miss it, and we want it back. What can and often does kick in is a huge need for that person's approval of you and what you do. You take all the responsibility, right? You work harder to get their attention. You work harder to get their approval. You work so incredibly hard to get the love bombing and all of that euphoric feeling back. You know that if you're good enough, things will go back to the way they used to be when they were magical. Sometimes the narcissist will even tell you things of that nature. Well, I'll love you again when you ABCXYZ. I'll be nice to you when you ABCXYZ. They will put those things out there for you to show you that, hey, if you work towards this, things can be good again. Along with needing their approval and needing them to see you the way they used to see you when you were being love bombed, abandonment issues can begin to pop up. I've talked to a lot of people and read a lot of comments about people saying that, well, they don't have abandonment issues. They don't have issues with abandonment and attachment issues. And not everybody does. But what we have to keep in mind is we've been sucked in by a predator. You've been love bombed. You get idealized. But now we idealize this false person. You've been fed a false narrative that has you completely addicted to this person. Sometimes things like abandonment and attachment issues don't even present themselves until we get sucked into a relationship like this. Sometimes we have certain things, certain problems that we don't really know about until they're exacerbated, until a spotlight is kind of shined on them. Narcissists are also very good at scare tactics. They scare you into doing what they want. And if you don't, they're going to leave. And you can't risk that because you're so addicted. Therefore, you comply and continue to sacrifice everything you can just so they stay around. You might even begin to want their approval more than you want it from yourself. You need validation more. You can't even validate yourself. You need them to do it for you. You need them to appreciate you and to make you happy. A lot of people in a relationship with a narcissist are non-confrontational people as well, which can also pose a lot of problems. People who don't want to make waves and upset other people. Well, this makes communicating extremely difficult because more often than not, non-confrontational people just don't communicate. Narcissists are already terrible communicators. They constantly contradict themselves, use word salad, psycho-babble bullshit that doesn't ever go anywhere. They talk in circles, constantly gaslight and use other crazy-making tricks to make talking with them an absolute nightmare. So you stop communicating out of fear. You're already non-confrontational. You don't want to lose this person. You stop communicating because it's circular. It goes nowhere. And after walking on eggshells for so long, most people stop communicating with them at all. It's one of the most unproductive things you can do. Try to have a conversation with a narcissist. Difficulty communicating, needing approval, needing validation, lacking trust in yourself, low self-esteem, abandonment issues, attachment issues, dependency. That's how all of this happens with someone narcissistic. These people are a perfect storm that can bring out these really unhealthy qualities in us, and sometimes qualities we weren't really ever sure that we had. The narcissist is dependent on their sources of supply, and we become dependent on them for love and happiness and validation. And thus a codependent relationship is born, because all those things that I just mentioned are signs of codependency. If you feel that this is something that you're struggling with, I highly encourage you to look into things that you can do to work on this. This is something that can be identified and worked on, and you don't have to continue to feel this way or behave this way. You can work on boosting your self-esteem, getting boundaries, maintaining them, identifying toxic people so that you don't even get into a relationship or situation like this in the first place, and you can avoid it. Getting into therapy are all really, really great places to start. If this video is helpful for you, I hope that you will subscribe for more videos, like, and share the video as well if you think it might help other people too. Those things really help support my channel. Also comment down below if this is something that you think you need to work on. Most importantly, if you have tips that you think might help other survivors, I encourage you to please share those in the comments as well. And let's be loving and supportive and try to work with each other and give each other tips to help get through this. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.